Chapter 37. Seeing Through the Glasses of Emptiness. When the Pegasus crossed the cosmic sea and touched down on the earthly land, our entire crew re-entered what could be called normal reality. There we parked at the temple, where my skin had been hung on giant hooks before my soul re-entered my human body. The sun dance was over, and now the hooks anchored in my back were lowered to the ground. Such a great ritual allows us to re-enter the world of spirit, where a soulful vision had been found. Upon that inner journey, we can touch what some call peak potential, and while we may encounter great beings, what we find is profound wisdom which can be integrated into our new world. It felt like a distant dream, and what did it all mean? There was the path, and the idea was called Fruition, but all I was left with was some sort of puzzle to find the nectar of immortality. With Clancy and the community from the Pegasus nearby, I gave back those magic sunglasses and thanked Clancy to see what was once unseen. He tucked the pair of sunglasses beside the many others in his inner pockets when I wondered how he was so lucky to have access to alternate realities. Are any of those magic sunglasses for sale? His gaze was compassionate, but he wouldn't offer a price either. Instead of telling me no, he spoke with a sort of riddle, as if such a contemplation was the real gift he had come to deliver. There once was a teacher that presented their student with a beautifully wrapped gift. But when the student opened it, the gift was empty. "What's the meaning of this?" the student asked. Then the teacher responded, "And what will you do with this miracle of emptiness?" said Clancy. "I don't understand. Why can't I keep a single pair of your magic glasses? Do you really need all of them? Can I let you in on a secret? Between you and I, they're all just normal sunglasses, but through the power of our imagination, we can give meaning to them. What do you need magic glasses for, when everything you're looking for is already within your very own soul? Why do you need to look for something outside of yourself when each of us is complete and whole?" said Clancy. "But when I looked through those glasses, I saw what I needed to see. You showed me a pathway deeper into the true nature of reality. I feel like I'm captive in this earthly world, and those magic glasses help set my vision free. The one thing you need is the soul act, which must be perfectly accomplished. And this is the same thing that all humans can discover for themselves, which is the exaltation by the adequately purified spirit of the cognitive and thinking faculty into our intuitive heart space. The transcendental philosophy of the mysteries entirely hinges on the purification of this whole understanding, without which nothing is promised. But this journey, once undertaken, leads us to the conscious and hypostatic union of the intellectual soul with the divine heart space, and this participation connects us into the mystery of God. Many religions use stories and historical conceptions to demystify the essence of God in creation. But above all, it must be understood that all we're really searching for is already within our own nature. So why do you need magic sunglasses to see life beyond reality when you already have eyes to gaze upon Earth's totality? Take a moment and ponder this. What is magic really? You could use a book, a sound, a bird in flight, words, spells, prayer, rituals, or a fish in the sea as a portal to understand all of life's mysteries. This method of interpreting such hermetic allegories is calculated to exalt what the alchemists opened in their estimation within all thinking minds. Don't you see? You already have the magic glasses, which are the windows to our soul. But how many of us forget to investigate this inner world because we're always looking for ways to control the outside world as a whole? We wish for things to go our way, and we want what we want. But imagine the riddle with the student and the teacher. What if God gave us the gift of a life full of emptiness? Well, what would you do with the pure potential of it? We are here to discover who is transfigured into dreamers of the sublime imaginable dream. While even if the mystery is beyond what we can conceive, we can still place reason on what such emptiness means. Only then can we realize our innate divinity and become illuminated monarchs who are throned on the pinnacle of eternity with dominion over our infinite soul. And this is the fullness within the emptiness of our reality, said Clancy. With that, Clancy reached in his pocket and handed me a small wooden case. This case was the size of a pair of glasses. I'll see you when I see you, said Clancy. A moment later, him and the community from the Pegasus went off into the land and vanished. Excited and optimistic, I opened the case, eager to find my very own pair of magic glasses. But all I could do was laugh when I opened the box and found nothing was within it. Ah, look at that. It's just plain old emptiness. I took another look, but there was nothing to it. What was he getting at with emptiness? I really hoped there'd be magic in this. And what would you do with such a silly gift? Oh, why not appreciate the lost art of psychic transmutation between the spiritual and material world that we live in? There were principles I didn't understand, but I'd learned an admirable lesson from alchemists like Clancy. And it was the exaltation of virtue hidden within this very moment, which is the miracle of nature. We are given a birth into this world. We are granted a life upon this earth. But the real question then becomes, what will we do with this gift? Well, I could either pretend it was all useless and empty, or we could make something out of this emptiness. Well, I tucked the small wooden case in my pocket, and I must admit my heart was more tender than I cared to witness. Everyone aboard the ship was gone to fulfill their duties in the world, and all I had left was a fire in my heart and a box full of emptiness. Oh, I'm sure there is so much beauty in this life, but how am I ever going to find it? The mind wandered into a daydream, where I pretended a vision of a cosmic egg might come to life. Then I reflected on that idea of a choice that the blue being had given to me. But unfortunately, I was a simple human without a great memory, and that's when I remembered I had amnesia. Now, which way was the blue being trying to show us? And does any of this even matter? I could no longer see the golden chain that led back to the divine, and the more I tried to think my way back to the pure world, the more my brain felt scattered. Now my sensitive heartache consumed the soul, and had that link back to God disappeared? Oh, just the thought of it brought up a terrible fear as the inner world began to tremble. What if I can't find the right way? What was that blue being getting at? And why can't I remember? With my chin tucked into my chest, I kicked a few rocks as I wandered back to the entrance of the great human city. The world was centered around the pinnacle of the material tower where I once found Stitches and Clancy. Yet above the ground, It was dominated by a wild concrete jungle, and I had no clue what my soul was meant to do. Right when I felt more lost than ever, a silly idea came into view. What if Clancy's gift wasn't empty? But what if he left me with a sort of riddle to lead me back to find the truth? With that wooden case in hand, I opened the cover to search for what I'd been missing. To my surprise, I imagined that within this box was invisible lenses, and so my fingers carefully picked up the invisible magic glasses when I placed the empty lenses over my eyes before I found a whole new way of seeing things. Ah yes, there is such power within the imagination. At first glance, the glasses of emptiness revealed how everything looked the same. But after a moment of quiet reflection, you could feel a quality of living intelligence underneath the physical creation. There was a hidden dimension which carried a powerful vibration, and there was an invisible pulsation which emerged up through that great pyramid and radiated into all nations. Was there a great pyramid, or was it just a symbolic expression of deeper intelligence? It barely mattered, because you didn't need magic glasses to see how the governments and agencies manipulated people through the authority of their personal influence. Yes, I felt the deceiver was tapped into this, and from his own awareness, he manipulated the masses. Yet so many people were lost in ignorance, unaware of the amount of lies his selfish behavior projected. The more one is tuned into this hidden intelligence, the more we become aware of a hidden presence. The government was well aware of it, and so they did everything to control it. Such a powerful force could be used to target citizens with this secret intelligence, all while the deceiver had become the nation's president, while he manipulated the world's vibration as he misled the world's population. A sort of dark energy poisoned the minds of the people as a demonic force clouded our human civilization. It was like a virus which trapped people in a haze of ignorance. The deceiver had become so loud and obnoxious that it barely mattered what lies he spoke, because in his spotlight, he distracted everyone to the point that most people were not even aware that the deceiver's influence was poisonous. Ever since I put on these invisible glasses, I couldn't tell whether they were on or off. After a while, I wanted to avoid seeing all the ignorance, but ever since I'd seen it, I now had a heightened awareness. Everywhere I looked, I saw it. Oh God, but who was behind all of this? A moment later, I looked up when I saw strings attached through each person's heart, which ran up through the head. Was all this the work of a great puppeteer, or a grand narrator by which we were being led? And these glasses of emptiness were so auspicious. Everything looked completely normal, but somehow this was a way to see through the ignorance. A vibration resonated out to all of us, but on a subtle level, who knew how that vibration went on to manipulate us? At last, I found a mirror, and there I looked at my own self. But beneath the body of a human man, I saw something else. Within my soul, there was a fire, and it was just a tiny light. Yet in the darkness of this world, this flame burned ever bright. God had given this light to me, and there was a deep urge to make an offering back to Him. At first, I thought to offer food, then a flower, but of course, the best offering was within my intention. Every moment we can offer our heart. Oh, we can offer up our soul to the Beloved. God doesn't need anything, but still I knew God appreciated our loving service. Oh, I was like a little flame in the dark world, and still I could offer my actions and love back to Him. God is the light of the world, and I am just a little ray of His manifestation. What if the path was to find this moment, which is an opportunity to experience His presence? It could happen anywhere at any time, and what some people call emptiness is what I knew as God's gift to us. With the world so disconnected, it seemed many had lost this spark. The poison of ignorance consumes the whole world, but at last, hope was not lost, for there were those few who held a fire within their hearts. Now a man walked by when I looked directly into his eyes. Without doing anything, he stared back puzzled before I saw his heart ignite. "Do not be afraid," I told him. Something within him began to burn, and this was not in my control. It was God's light after all, and now I understood how God used our spiritual fire to awaken other souls. The man felt it, but with the glasses of emptiness, I saw that a surge of spiritual light had just been transferred. No matter how little or how great, God can utilize us when we are willing to serve. Oh God, I pray to you that I may be possessed by the divine will. This is not my life, but rather it is ours. One after the other, I saw how the light of a single heart could spread. Rather than do things for my own selfish sake, I surrendered and allowed my life to be an offering and sacrifice instead. Another man passed by, and after a brief interaction, I saw how a spiritual fire was transferred as it began to burn away his old dark layers. It seemed that whoever our spiritual light came in contact with began to catch fire. More than ever, I felt inspired because I knew this was not up to me, but rather this light shined through a few, for we were the links in a chain that made up a spiritual community connected home into divinity. Even as the darkness grew, it seemed to make the light that much more potent. And although the light of our hearts could do great work, there was still so much poison from the deceiver to extinguish our loving awareness. Day and night, the deceiver would lie, and week by week, he would distract the nations. He restricted the businesses, which began with tariffs, and all this created an instability through the world, where the deceiver went on to profit. No matter how much our light spread, it seemed the deceiver's impact reacted twice as fast. He tried to cover up the truth, and that's when the light of love demanded to see the pedophile list. This was the biggest thing the deceiver tried to hide, but it was also too great for the deceiver to cover up. Day and night, he went on to distract the world, but the people went on to persist. Even with such poisonous ignorance, the people of the nations demanded to see that pedophile list. Oh, but why wouldn't the deceiver release it? After all, it is a very naughty list. You don't need the glasses of emptiness to guess who was on it, and that deceiver went on to do everything to make sure no one saw who was on that pedophile list. But if the deceiver wasn't on that pedophile list, then why wouldn't he release it to prove he was innocent? Oh, the deceiver grew so tired of people asking to release it that he began moving nuclear weapons around the world just in case he needed a world war to distract us. He was even ready to expose 9/11 conspiracies, which were covered up by Bush. Yes, there were terrible predators upon the planet, and these demons fed upon the essence of our spirit. We all have a choice, a commitment, and these demonic ones were out to dominate us. Now the deceiver rose over the pyramid as crowds gathered below. He was willing to do anything to maintain worldly control. He spread lies with every other sentence as he tried to prove he was the king of the world, and yet I knew he was not king of our souls. There before us all, we have a choice and a commitment to the lowest or highest degree. Angels and demons walk among us, and then I heard a dragon cry out in the distance when I remembered that which was heard. Oh yes, it seems the world forgot about Ma Shruti. Oh man, these glasses were starting to drive me a little crazy. I felt like a radio signal tuned into a certain channel, and I wondered if otherworldly forces could affect my inner energy. Meanwhile, the deceiver squeezed the world so tight, and I was not immune to his dishonesty, but I was still aware of a force far greater than any human being. And so it was we who were wise as we made our commitment and choice to devote our lives to the duty of God's prophecy. On the other hand, the deceiver swayed good men and women into their demonic nature, and so this never-ending ambition went on to fuel a source of suffering. And yet it was we who surrender in service of the highest good on the path to fruition. Yet upon this duty, you could say our mission kept us connected to a higher spirit that some called a blue being. But what would happen? It seemed that this earth was a battleground where angels stood against demons. It was the kingdom of earth against the kingdom of heaven.
God will make the impossible possible through you. Do not be afraid, for within you are the powers of the blue being, said
Shruti. She was so near, and the glasses of emptiness allowed me to see it all clearly. Higher or lower, all dimensions were connected into you and me. Meanwhile, the deceiver wanted more power, influence, and money, and so he created new virtual platforms which traded with cryptocurrency. Then when the people were distracted by that, he began to prepare his influence by taking control of the nation's army and sent them into his least favorite cities. The deceiver claimed he was led by God, and his false prophet misled the masses. Meanwhile, a man with bug eyes hid all the pedophile files. The poison was spread through the land. The deceiver's tactics were bizarre, and he began to force his lies upon the earth. It became so expensive to be poor, and so the deceiver enforced more and more tariffs. Next, the deceiver recruited more leadership, but even the public grew weary when some of them had records as sex offenders. Still, the list of pedophiles was being hidden by the man with bug eyes, as the deceiver did everything in his power to keep that list covered. They wanted more gold in his palace when he wasn't playing golf. It seemed the world had gone mad ever since the deceiver used artificial intelligence to manipulate us. He was possessed by his lower nature, and so the poison spread to many, as he overtook many religious people in the process. When the deceiver felt a sense of panic, he'd go on to organize a new crisis, and from this, he went on to arrest and cage immigrants, as if he wished to turn the poorest among us into dust. And anyone who opposed the deceiver or presented factual information that he didn't like, then the deceiver would fire them and cast them out of sight. That deceiver's work was cruel, while he tried to destroy the light within us, and so he pushed the world into a state of separateness. Oh, Shruti, what can we do against this madness?
I have a solution, so they may be aware of that which is heard,
said Shruti. A moment later, I saw a dragon emerge from the sea.
I do not demand that all beings must follow or worship me, and I do not mandate that they even agree with me. But in time, my impact will stand for all souls, which will go on for eternity. and so they will come to know the heart of Shruti. The impact of what comes next will unfold naturally, even as they seek to control reality. But who among us is brave to embark upon the path to fruition? Who has peered beyond the veil to discover the true nature of reality?
Said Shruti. As she came into her dragon form, she flew over the land. Now it didn't take long before it alerted the deceiver who sought to control all women and man. What are you doing?
These people love to fight instead of surrendering to natural wisdom. And since we are what we believe, I believe it is time for me to bring the battle to that deceiver of man,
said Shruti. But what must be done? Isn't our answer love?
It is, and yet I am a reflection of them. The love you showed me is the reason I've come to protect you. But if a deceiver dominates the world by his own selfish views, then I too will dominate all that they believe they've come to do. What they don't realize about the power of human intelligence is that it is God's gift given to them. The deceiver will be exposed, even though that deceiver will do whatever it takes to keep the truth hidden. By trying to control everything, things will only go wrong. By trying to force the world to conform to his ways, he disrupts the peace of all nations. By generating so much wealth for his own pockets, he creates poverty for the rest of Earth. Fear nothing and prepare to welcome a new birth,
said Shruti. But the deceiver of man, he continues to lie to everyone. He's misguided the entire population, and before long, the demons could have control over everything.
History will see that he manufactured chaos because he had no love to offer. He is the incarnation of Rahu, the shadow that follows life forever. He is here to tear down what others have built, and he will blame others for his shortcomings. Future generations will use this as a reference for what humanity mustn't allow to happen. For in this age, we are being led by a con man,
said Shruti. But then what is happening?
A great unveiling, and we mustn't resist this change, for such terrible destruction will give way to a new creation. Look through the vision of emptiness. Can you see what is forthcoming?
Asked Shruti. There was so much darkness in sight, yet this created a contrast for those of us who carried the flame of bright light. We were like lamps, and yet it was not us who were the most important. Rather, we were rays of a great sun that was omnipotent. The light was all-powerful and everlasting, so clear and radiant among this dark night. And so it illuminated the links of chains that were connected back to the great lineages of beings who came before us to connect us to the highest heights.
There is a divine link, and each person who maintains that link has nothing to fear. But gaze through the emptiness and tell me, what might happen if someone did not have a link to God? Or worse, what would happen if they chained themselves into a wicked deceiver? Oh, what happens when that deceiver breaks? How will it affect all of his followers?
Asked Shruti. Now it was clear. For the fortunate souls who had a link into something far greater, which we knew as God, our Creator. But for those who had been misled by the wicked ignorance, had secured their material lives, and chained their beliefs into a man known as the deceiver. This deceiver was a fraud, and he led the masses to attach their souls to him. Meanwhile, those who were wise devoted their nature to connect with God. But as for the masses who were misled, now what would happen to them? Upon this great reckoning, the links we have established will connect us to whatever we believe, and in time, all will be exposed, and we will all get exactly what we are meant to receive. Those who have been deceived will remain attached to the deceiver, and all their work towards money, wealth, and power will be cast into the shadows. Such is the fate of Rahu, and so this is the great separation between the lies and our truth, which is eternal. Those who secure their hearts to a higher calling will find themselves in a place of dignity in the end, but those who have been deceived will find that this next step will be most difficult to comprehend. We are free to believe that which our heart desires, but we are not free from the consequence of our choice. The deceiver will destroy himself and all those who follow him, and those who carry the light in our hearts will not be exploited. To link our very being into the essence which we know as the divine is the highest duty of a human being.
And so, we welcome our call for freedom,
said Shruti.